Welcome to Shadow, a podcast that delves deep into the hidden corners of our psyche, exploring the darker, often repressed aspects of ourselves. Join your host, Bernard Alvarez, as he guides us on a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Bernard is a spiritual influencer, certified Reiki master, and seasoned teacher of shamanic, magical, and earth-based practices. With his profound insights and compassionate guidance, Bernard helps us confront our inner darkness, embrace our shadow, and ultimately illuminate our true selves. Prepare to uncover, understand, and transform as we step into the depths of shadow.
Welcome to Shadow, where we explore the integration of our true selves through deep spiritual and shadow work. I'm your host, Bernard, and today we'll be diving into a topic that is close to many of our hearts: healing past wounds and releasing trauma through shadow work. We all have moments in our lives that leave deep emotional scars. Traumas, whether big or small, can impact our ability to move forward, to trust, and even to love ourselves fully. Through shadow work, we can bring those hidden wounds into the light, allowing them to heal and transform. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's journey together into this powerful healing space. Let's begin by exploring what trauma really is and why it lodges itself so deeply within us. Trauma can be defined as an emotional response to a distressing event. It's not just about the event itself, but how we internalize it, how it shapes our beliefs, behaviors, and sense of self. Trauma can range from childhood neglect, the loss of a loved one, or even more subtle but equally impactful experiences like emotional invalidation or social rejection. In many ways, trauma forms a part of our shadow self. The shadow, as we've discussed in previous episodes, is the part of ourselves that we push away, those aspects of our being that we deny, disown, or suppress. And trauma loves to hide here, in the dark corners of our psyche. The wounds stay buried because they're too painful or too difficult to face. But here's the thing: what remains in the shadows festers. By shining a light on these hidden parts of ourselves through shadow work, we begin the process of healing. In shadow work, we don't shy away from the uncomfortable. We invite it in, and we hold space for it. So how do we begin this work of healing trauma? Let's move into the first technique: acknowledging and facing the shadow. The first and most crucial step in healing trauma through shadow work is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is the process of recognizing that trauma is present, that it affects us, and that it deserves our attention. Many of us are conditioned to push through pain, to pretend everything is fine, but shadow work asks us to sit with our discomfort, to face the shadow head on. This means identifying the ways trauma has influenced our behaviors, our fears, and even our emotional responses. Here's a simple exercise you can try at home to begin this process. Mirror of truth. Find a quiet place and stand in front of a mirror. Gaze deeply into your own eyes and ask yourself, what am I hiding? What wounds do I carry that need healing? Sit with whatever emotions come up. You don't have to fix them immediately. This is about recognition. Write down any feelings, memories, or patterns that arise. This exercise is powerful because it forces you to confront yourself without judgment, without pretending that everything is okay. The mere act of facing your shadow opens up space for healing. Once we've faced our trauma, we move into processing and understanding it. This leads us to our second technique, rewriting your story. When we experience trauma, we often internalize a narrative about ourselves. We might believe that we are unworthy, unlovable, or somehow at fault for the pain we've endured. This story becomes a part of our identity, deeply influencing how we see the world and ourselves. Shadow work invites us to rewrite that story. It asks us to go back to the moments of pain, not to relive them, but to reframe them. When we see our traumas from a place of empowerment and self-compassion, we begin to change the story that we tell ourselves. Next, journal the rewrite. Take a journal and write down a specific traumatic experience that has deeply affected you. It doesn't have to be long, just enough to recall the event and the emotions surrounding it. Once you've written it, reread it, and then write a second version of the story. But this time, write from the perspective of your highest self, the part of you that is empowered, loving, and full of wisdom. What do they see in this experience? How would they interpret it? By rewriting our story, we reclaim our narrative. We are no longer victims of our past, but empowered beings capable of transformation. Trauma doesn't define us, it shapes us, but we have the power to change its impact on our lives. Now that we've faced and rewritten our trauma, the final step is to release it, allowing ourselves to heal fully. Let's move into ritual and release. Ritual is a powerful way to symbolically release trauma. In spiritual practices across the world, ritual has always been used to bring closure, healing, and transformation. When we turn our trauma into a ritual act, we honor it and release it with intention. Here's a simple ritual for releasing trauma that you can incorporate into your shadow work practice. The fire of release. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Gather a candle, a piece of paper, and a pen. Light the candle and take a few deep breaths, centering yourself. Write down a memory, belief, or emotion tied to your trauma that you're ready to release. Pour it all out onto the paper without holding back. When you're ready, read it aloud, acknowledging the pain and the lessons it has taught you. Burn the paper in the candle's flame, watching the smoke rise and carrying the energy of that trauma away. As the paper turns to ash, allow yourself to feel lighter. Trust that the energy of that wound is being released and transformed. Rituals like this can be incredibly healing because they give our psyche a tangible way to let go. By externalizing the trauma through writing and burning, we signal to ourselves that we are ready to move forward. The final piece of today's episode is perhaps the most important: compassionate integration. Healing trauma isn't about forgetting or erasing the past. It's about integrating those experiences into our whole self with compassion. This means offering ourselves kindness and patience as we heal. Remember, shadow work isn't a quick fix. It's a journey. After releasing trauma, practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would a dear friend who has been through something difficult. Remind yourself that it's okay to have scars, that healing is a lifelong process, and that you are worthy of love and care every step of the way. Let's do a brief but powerful meditation for self-compassion. This time is just for you to connect with your heart, release any tension, and offer yourself the kindness you deserve. Begin by finding a comfortable seat. You can sit on a chair, on the floor, or lie down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Gently close your eyes and start by taking a few deep, calming breaths. Inhale deeply, hold for a moment, and exhale slowly, letting go of any stress or worries. Take another deep breath in. Feel the air filling your lungs. Hold. And slowly release, allowing your body to soften with each exhale. Now, gently place one or both of your hands over your heart. Feel the warmth of your hands against your chest and begin to tune in to the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more centered, more at peace. This is your time to offer yourself love, compassion, and healing energy. As you continue to breathe deeply, I invite you to repeat these affirmations in your mind or out loud if you feel called to. I am worthy of healing. Feel the truth of these words in your heart. You are deserving of care, love, and healing, exactly as you are in this moment. Breathe in deeply, welcoming this truth into your being, and release any doubts as you exhale. I am worthy of healing. Now repeat this next affirmation. My past does not define me. Allow yourself to feel the weight of the past gently falling away. You are not bound by old wounds or stories. With each breath, release the power they hold over you. In this moment, you are free to step into a new version of yourself. My past does not define me. Finally, repeat this affirmation. I embrace all parts of myself with love. Every part of you, your light, your shadow, your strengths, and your vulnerabilities, deserves love. As you say these words, feel a deep sense of acceptance. There is nothing to fix, nothing to change. You are whole and complete just as you are. I embrace all parts of myself with love. Take a few more deep breaths, allowing these affirmations to settle into your heart. Feel the energy of self-compassion expanding within you, filling every corner of your being with warmth and healing light. When you're ready, gently release your hands from your heart. Take one final deep breath, and as you exhale, begin to bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you feel ready, softly open your eyes. As we close today's episode, I want to remind you that healing is a sacred act of love. Trauma can feel overwhelming, but through shadow work, you have the tools to transform it, to release it, and to come into a deeper understanding of yourself. Be patient with your journey. It's not about perfection, but about progress. Each step you take toward acknowledging, rewriting, releasing, and integrating your trauma is a step closer to wholeness. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Remember, you are never alone in your healing. If today's episode resonated with you, please feel free to reach out, share your thoughts, and connect with our community. Until next time, continue to embrace your shadow and live fully in the light. This has been another episode of Shadow. Be sure to subscribe, share with your loved ones, and stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the mysteries of the self. Blessed be.
Thank you so much for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you'd like to unlock some amazing exclusive perks like special classes, meditations, courses, and more, consider becoming a supporting member of my channel. Just click subscribe on Facebook or join on YouTube. I love you, friends, and I'll see you next time.